we should not be some kind of surprised if he would continue his attack not only on Ukraine but on whole Europe.
But certainly he has to be seeing what's going on and realizing that the Russian military is not performing to maybe what he expected. They're getting fierce opposition. Do you think that when he sees the reality of what's happening, he changes his calculus?
It's probably too early to judge. We have seen over the last 2 decades that he repeats these attacks and he's trying to grab more piece by piece.
Let's imagine neutrality with respect to NATO is on the table for peace negotiations, and let's assume even control over parts of the Donbas region also on the table. Given what you know about Vladimir Putin, do you think that these peace talks are real?
So far, I have not seen anything that Putin would say by himself, just to make any promises. But even when he makes some promises, it does not mean that he's going to execute them as first.
So you could see a scenario where there is a peace deal and then he violates it.
Yes.
When you see sanctions now that are put on Russia, do you think that they're significant enough to have an impact that might sway oligarchs, that might move powerful people against Vladimir Putin?
One of the greatest misconceptions in the West and the United States, for example, is just the role of the so-called oligarchs in Russian economy and Russian political system. This role is next to zero. If you think that those sanctions would make changes in the decision-making process of Mr. Putin or of Kremlin, it's wrong. It's a mistake.
Well, why
you
not?
have no chance because they have no impact on the decision-making process of Mr. Putin.
So, I mean, we're really talking about the will of one man here.
Exactly.
When we talk about the disinformation,
Mm-hmm.
the news about what's happening in Ukraine is not filtering in through state media in Russia. How much of the population actually is exposed to what's really happening in Ukraine?
Not much, I would say, because I would say up to 70% of the Russian population have been brainwashed completely. If
you think 70%, you think it's that high?
It would be, I would say, conservative estimate, maybe